Hello, Dominica. Welcome to the Kairi TV News. I'm your presenter, Vanessa Bruno. Let's go to the big stories making the headlines. Government moves to ensure adequate supply of petroleum products to the island in the future. Community soap makers now ready to have their products on the market. And independent candidate for the Salisbury constituency sworn in as leader of the opposition. Stay tuned for details after the break.
Are you looking for that perfect setup for your conference, seminar, or company function? Or maybe you need a low-budget setup for your party, dinner, or private gathering? How about that professional production for your grand concert, festival, or outdoor event? Kairi Sounds is here to provide you with everything you need. PA system, stage, lighting, microphones, tents, LED digital screens, generators, projectors, crowd barriers, and more. We also offer free event consultation to ensure the success of your special event. Call us today at 612-4050. Kairi Sounds, your partner in sound, stage, and lighting services.
Welcome back. In our lead story, the government of Dominica is moving to ensure that the island will have adequate storage facilities to eliminate the stress of suppliers not having enough fuel to meet the demands for gasoline and diesel in the transportation sector. Over the past few days, long lines and queuing customers have created a panic situation at gas pumps around the island as gas supplies have been reduced to a minimum and in some instances unavailable. The unavailability of petrol at the pumps has been attributed to the inability of supply vessels to dock for offloading due to adverse sea conditions. However, Minister for Trade, Dr. The Honorable Vince Henderson, in an address on Tuesday, assured the nation that government is negotiating with relevant institutions to increase the availability of adequate storage facilities for fuel on island.
We have seen over the years the deterioration of the facilities of Western Oil Company Limited in Dominica at Cadefield Rockaway. We've also seen the cessation of importation of bulk fuel from NP, National Petroleum, out of Trinidad and Tobago. And following that, we've seen the suspension of operations by Rubis. So all of the storage facilities, which would have been at the disposal of Dominicans, well, at least the suppliers of fuel in Dominica, are no longer available. And yes, PetroCaribe, built by the government of Dominica with assistance from our friend from Venezuela, has a capacity of 10,000 barrels of gasoline and adequate supply, 25,000 barrels of diesel. That situation is being addressed. We have taken the decision. I have received the support from our Prime Minister clearly that we need to deal with the issue of storage to ensure that we can have adequate supply and fuel. But I also wish to say that PetroCaribe Dominica has also been digging into its own reserves to make fuel available to service stations throughout Dominica. And that has helped us tremendously over the last few days, in particular, especially the last 48 hours. So the plan essentially is to ensure that we can get storage to a higher level, not just pre-Rubis suspension levels, but get into a level that will adequately supply gasoline. And I need to clarify that really the situation is only affecting the supply of gasoline. So we will be looking at that. In addition, we will be looking at facilities that can store Jet A1 fuel, especially as we move to the construction of an international airport. So we are looking at the whole storage of fuel as part of our strategic plan towards a more resilient Dominica.
Mr. Henderson says government will continue to negotiate with entities such as Rubis and others to ensure that their storage facilities can be put to use, which, once agreed upon, would help with the issue of storage capacity on island. He adds that government sees having increased and adequate storage capacity of petrol on island as most important for the continued functions of the transportation industry.
That is a live matter that is being pursued. But in addition to that, we are looking at the supply of fuel because the government sees the importation of fuel as essential and critical because obviously it has affected so many sectors in Dominica. So not only for private vehicles, but businesses have been affected, tourism sector, and that is something of great concern to us. So we are looking at how do we secure as a country the importation of a commodity as important as fuel. So that is being looked at as well. And as I said, we're also looking at investment in expanding our own storage facility, like what we have in Jimmy. Obviously, the North would be an area to consider, bearing in mind that we have started the construction of an international airport. So it's really having a number of things that we are pursuing. So Rubis, yes, remains a live matter for us that we are pursuing.
The Trade Minister also disclosed that government has a record of reflecting the global prices on gasoline, and even when prices get very high, are able to absorb some of the costs with subsidies. He says, in the next cycle of fuel pricing, government will review the premium so that no additional costs are passed on to the consumers, and efforts will be made to ensure that supplies remain adequate. In other top stories, persons from the Pittit Soufriere community who participated in a soap-making training workshop are now ready to have their products on the market. Nathaniel Durant has more.
The participants completed the 2-day training session over the weekend and were able to display their finished products made from the vetiver and bay oils. The 7 women are now moving to establishing a cooperative group with the help of the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, IICA, and its partners. The training builds on Dominica's rich tradition in artisanal craft making, forms an essential element of ecosystem-based adaptation project being implemented by the EBA project. Facilitator for the training workshop, entrepreneur Dafrika Thomas, says it was a very rewarding exercise working with the women and sharing this life skill which she believes will empower them to meet the challenges of launching their own business.
I really was happy to do this because it's always a joy to empower women especially, and I hope that they use this information to, create a cooperative and that they can work together harmoniously and to just improve the economic status of Saint-Sauveur, of themselves, to be better providers for their family. I do not see this as competitors for me, although there's a small market around here which I know they are going to probably concentrate on. But I feel like me empowering them is me empowering my country, Dominica.
Ms. Thomas is owner of Nature's Caress, a soap-making enterprise which she has managed over the past 12 years. She describes the trainees as being very receptive, and though there were many unfamiliar terms through handouts and other training materials, they were able to grasp the information quickly.
They have a lot of information in their handbook. They were very receptive. They all understood the process. They did it joyfully. They seemed very happy and very excited to take on this venture. So I just hope that that excitement continues and that they actually create the cooperative and start producing vertebrate soap. So yeah, looking forward to them being successful.
The participants themselves described the exercise as a life-changing experience.
When I first heard of the training, I was like, soap making, I was like, wow, that's pretty much hard work. But from the moment we came here, and the facilitator showed us and explained to us very clearly what we're supposed to do, I personally believe that soap making is quite easy. Once you have the correct formula and the materials and the machines and the time, you will do a great job. And the 2 days of workshop was very worthwhile for me, I must say, and the other participants. We learned a lot. We did a lot of work. We did our own soaps with the help of our facilitator. So I believe it was a worthwhile project.
The project is also promoting the use of natural resources such as the deep-rooted vetiver grass as an appropriate green engineering solution to combat soil erosion and landslips. Nathaniel Durand, Kairi TV News.
On to political developments. A female opposition leader has been sworn in for a new term in government. Jesma Paul Victor made history as the first parliamentary representative for the Salisbury constituency elected as an independent candidate. She's also one of 2 independent candidates who claimed their seats at the general elections held on December 6th. Paul says, as a new parliamentarian and opposition leader, she hopes to follow in the footsteps of Dominica's first female opposition leader, Dame Eugenia Charles.
My first thing on the agenda is to get myself familiarized with the Constitution and the standing order of the House. As you know that I'm very new in the political arena, so it's a learning process for me as well. I would like to continue in the footsteps of Debbie Virginia. She had a good principle, that's one thing for sure, and I would like to continue that way. It's a learning process for me, so I will just go on with it and see what it brings for me. Let's see what happens with my constituents. Yes, my constituents, for one, I know they want me to run again, but let's see what happens. For my first term, I have to deal with a lot. I have the country to look after as well. So I have to deal with many things, but I'll get there.
The new opposition leader will alternate the role as leader of the opposition with a fellow independent MP for the Marigot constituency, Anthony Charles, over the next term. She went on to note her determination to work with government to ensure adequate representation for her constituency and the country.
I'm serving 18 months, that's a year and 6 months, and after my term, he'll be the opposition leader for a year and 6 months as well.
And then what happens after?
And then we share it equally again after.
So it's
a rotation basis, yes.
All right.
With the senator part, I choose to and he choose to as well, because we believe that we are equal. We are two independent candidates and we are equal. I believe that if we want anything for our constituency, we need to work together with the government. We can't get anything by ourselves. And I am determined, I am prepared to work with the government so we can get things for our constituency and more for the country.
This is the Kairi TV News. We'll be back after this break.
Play Multi-X on Pick 4, Daily 3 and Pick 2 and be part of our Multiply Your Christmas promotion. For every $4 spent on your game of choice with Multi-X, you get a chance to win goodies this Christmas. Your ticket will indicate whether you have won hats, turkeys, petrol vouchers, grocery vouchers, and instant cash prizes. What are you waiting for? Let Dominican National Lottery make everything possible for you this Christmas season. Play Big 4, Pick 2, and Daily 3. Don't forget Multi-X and watch us multiply your Christmas. Promotion valid from December 12, 2022 to January 14, 2023.
Are you looking for that perfect setup for your conference, seminar, or company function? Or maybe you need a low-budget setup for your party, dinner, or private gathering? How about that professional production for your grand concert, festival, or outdoor event? Kairi Sounds is here to provide you with everything you need. PA system, stage, lighting, microphones, tents, LED digital screens, generators, projectors, crowd barriers, and more. We also offer free event consultation to ensure the success of your special event. Call us today at 612-4050. Kairi Sounds, your partner in sound, stage, and lighting services.
Welcome back. A book paying homage to the traditional wooden homes of Dominica has been published. Here's Linda Morton with that story.
Still Standing, the story of the vanishing vernacular architecture, is the latest Dominican publication that takes a look into the past of Dominica. Written by Dominican Adam Philogen Heron with photographs by Marika Honeychurch and a foreword by Lennox Honeychurch, Still Standing looks at the history and importance of the Tikai to the heritage of this island. The beautifully illustrated book features interviews with those who live in Dominica's few remaining Tikai and explores how and why they have survived for so long. These small wooden houses, ingeniously crafted and carefully adapted to their environment, have survived hurricanes and earthquakes. In contrast to many modern concrete buildings, they are still standing. Even so, they are under threat. Publisher Polly Patullo says the book is a celebration of the island's traditional home and their strength over the years.
Still Standing, the Tikai of Dominica, is a beautifully illustrated book basically about the vernacular architecture of Dominica and its history and its survival. It's written by Adam Philogen Heron, who is of Dominican heritage but is an anthropologist based in the UK, with photographs, absolutely gorgeous photographs by Marika Honeychurch. And it's really a celebration of the Tikai and the fact that those homes have survived so many hurricanes when more modern homes, concrete homes, have collapsed all around them. And this is because they were built with the climate in mind. And so they're sensitive to the climate and to the topography of Dominica.
The book will be available for sale in Dominica at Zeb Quayol, Jay's Bookstore, Kai Boutique, and the Douglas Charles Airport. Linda Martin for Kairi TV News.
And Kairi FM, in collaboration with the Faith, Hope and Love Foundation, based in the United States, has adopted the Le Toilette du Martin preschool in Portersville this Christmas through the donation of an assortment of toys. The presentation forms part of the Kairi FM's Christmas programming in an effort to bring cheer to the students. Manager of Kairi FM, Sharayan Leighton, made the short presentation on Tuesday.
It is our pleasure at Kairi FM, the group of companies. Our program director, Mr. Steve Vidal, is going to make that presentation to you of toys. We really do hope that you enjoy these toys, educational and fun-filled toys here today.
Meanwhile, principal of the school, Georgette Devarier, expressed gratitude to both organizations for their partnership and kind gesture.
We would love to say thank you so very much to the family of Kairi FM and the partners as well for choosing us and recognizing that hard work pays off, especially when you have that zeal and that mission to always bring joy to our little ones, our future. And Kairi FM always on board in terms of supporting me. You know, I don't own my own media house, but with Kairi FM, they made even story time, even Christmas Wonderland. When we had our puppet show, Kairi was on board with us in bringing joy to the max to our little boys and our little girls here on island. So we just want to take the time to say thank you once again to Kairi FM family and sponsors as well for bringing this box of toys to all the little ones that are enrolled at our institution.
The next presentation from Kairi FM and Faith, Hope and Love Foundation will take place on Christmas morning at the Winston Ward of the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. The event will be broadcast live by Kairi FM on its social media platforms. You're watching the Kairi TV News. Stay tuned for a recap of the headlines right after this.
Are you looking for that perfect setup for your conference, seminar, or company function? Or maybe you need a low-budget setup for your party, dinner, or private gathering? How about that professional production for your grand concert, festival, or outdoor event? Kairi Sounds is here to provide you with everything you need: PA system, stage, lighting, microphones, tents, LED digital screens, generators, projectors, crowd barriers, and more. We also offer free event consultation to ensure the success of your special event. Call us today at 612-4050. Kairi Sounds, your partner in sound, stage, and lighting services.
To end the news, the headlines once again. Government moves to ensure adequate supply of petroleum products to the island in the future. Community soap makers now ready to have their products on the market, and independent candidate for the Salisbury constituency sworn in as leader of the opposition. Tune in to 107.9, 93.1, 91.1 and 88.7 FM Monday to Friday for our radio newscasts at 6:30 a.m., 1 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. Go to Kairi TV on Flow Channel 953 to watch our TV newscasts Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. with repeats at 10 p.m. and 8 a.m. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Kairi FM. Check us out on Instagram at Kairi FM and follow us on Twitter at Kairi FM Dominica. Visit and subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch up on any newscasts you may have missed. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Vanessa Bruno. Until next time, thank you for watching.